Hey everybody, it's Angie, and today's video, as you can tell by the title, is what is interest, or if I have a savings account or a loan of any sorts, is this video for me? Well, yes, it's for you. Today we're talking about interest in two forms: interest earned and interest paid. So if you have a savings account, that it would be where interest is earned. And if you have any type of car loan, mortgage, or a financial loan, that is where interest is paid. And we're going to talk about those two things today really quickly. And just to give a little description on what, or a definition on what interest is, I went to Google, because Google. And interest it is money paid regularly at a particular rate for the use of money lent or for delaying the repayment of a debt. It also gives a definition that, plain and simple, interest is defined as money paid for the use of someone else's money. So now that we know what interest is, let's go ahead and try and break it down just a little bit so that we can kind of see how it affects us and why it's important to us. So if you have any type of money in the bank, in your savings account, we're talking about interest earned, right? So interest earned has to do with what we get in return for the bank using our money. So it's called annual percentage yield, what percent of interest we may earn on our savings account. This particular interest rate right here is 0.01%, which is literally pennies on the dollar. So for $5,000 that you may have in your savings account, for the year you would have only earned 50 cents. 50 cents for the year. Does that sound okay? Not on $5,000. $5,000 may not be a lot of money to some, but for some of us it is. And for the bank utilizing my money, I don't want 50 cents in return after a whole 365 days. I would prefer a little bit more. So our next APY is 0.10%, and that will give you a total of $5 for the year. So that's a little bit better than this, but still not enough for my $5,000 that's sitting in the bank. APY of 1% will give you $50 for the year. Now that's a little bit more my speed. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that you are in an account that has this particular interest rate or more or close to it. You don't want to be here because that's not enough money for what we have sitting in the bank. So with the 1% interest rate, you have certain accounts, that certain banks that will tell you we pay this percent up to a certain amount of money. You have to do your research and read the fine print because that's very important. Well, number one, how do you know what percentage rate you have? You go to your online banking account and look at the account details, or you can go to your statements that you receive at home and it should have it on there. If not, you can always call your institution to ask them, what is my interest rate on my savings account? But you should be able to find it out online. So let's just give a recap of what these things are. So for $5,000 with a 0.01% interest rate, at the end of the year, your account will be $5,000.50. Not good. $5,000 with 0.10%, which would mean after 365 days, your account will have $5,005 in your account. Still not what I'm looking to see. So finally, we are here, and this is how much our account will have at the end of 1 year. That looks a little bit better. This is what we are our goal. This is our goal, to find an account that has this amount or more. And that's interest earned explained simply. And that's just in relation to a savings account. Interest has many definitions, but we're sticking strictly to interest earned and for a savings account, and on to interest paid, and this is going to be in relation to a loan. So we have a $20,000 loan. With this $20,000 loan, our interest rate is 6%. That means at the end of our loan, or by the time we're finished paying, we will have paid $1,200 extra. So $20,000 plus the $1,200 is $21,200. That's how much we will have paid at the end of the loan with a 6% interest rate. Now, if you have a 3% interest rate, you're only paying $600 extra. So at the end of your loan, you will have paid $20,600. Now, how do you know what your interest rate is? Again, look at your paperwork or call your institution, whether it be your mortgage company, your auto loan company, or whatever financing company you're using for that loan, and ask them what's your interest rate. If it's too high, you can always try and refinance so that you can get a lower interest rate, because the interest rates do fluctuate by the market as well as because of your credit score. So be mindful of that. So let's say that you aren't even at 6.0 or 3.0%. Let's say you're at 15%. That means an extra $3,000 that you're paying on top of that $20,000 loan. So you want to be mindful of what your interest rate is and your credit score. This person may have a 650 credit score. This person may have a 550 credit score, and this person may have a 750 credit score. These are just numbers that I'm throwing out there. They're not accurate. These are just examples. But just to give you an idea, all of these numbers have applied to me at one point in my life. I have utilized each one of these numbers at some point, and I've had to do my research to find out why it was this, or if I could get a different one. So I have refinanced from this to this before, and it's a huge difference. If I could save $600 and not pay so much back on a loan that I've gotten, I want that. So I strive to make sure my credit score is legit and that I am utilizing whatever resources I can to get the best interest rate on my money that I am paying back. Because yes, I want to borrow the money, but I also don't want to pay an arm and a leg back. Okay, so just another breakdown of what interest is. We're going to look at this pictorial right here. So this is you. Yes, this is you. That's you. You're happy-go-lucky, and you're bringing your money to the bank because the bank is FDIC insured, and my money is in the bank, and I'm so happy to bring it there. It's going to be safe and secure. It's not going to be like if I have my money at home under a mattress or in a refrigerator, because some people do it, but it's not that way, because if your house burns down or if someone breaks in, you can't get that money back. But at the bank, it's insured. So let me put my money in the bank, right? So you put your money in the bank. The bank takes your money and they loan it out to these people. So let's just say this person wants a house. That's a house. This person wants a car. That's a car. And this person wants a business loan for a small business. For a small business. And this person wants a loan for school. So these people have their loans from the money that you put into the bank, and then they have to pay that back plus interest. So on top of the bank getting your money, loaning it out, and then getting it back plus interest, you need to make sure that you're in that loop. So how can we get a percentage of that money to you? How can we get a percentage of that money to you? Well, what we do is you make sure that your annual percentage yield is legit. You make sure that it's close to 1% or even over 1%. And if you stay tuned to the end of this video, I'll put some examples of different banks that have different interest rates so that you can go and do your research from there. But this is what we want to make sure. We want to make sure that we're not working for the bank, because us putting our money in the bank is us working for the bank, because we give them the money to give to these people, and then they get our money plus interest back. And if you're not getting anything back in return, you're working for the bank, and we don't want to do that. We want to play their game. We want a piece of their pie, which is in turn really our pie. So we want to make this come full circle. We want to make sure that what we put in, we're getting something back on top of that, because they're getting money from our money, and then we don't get anything in return. That's not how that's going to work. We want to make sure that we're getting the best bang for our buck while it's sitting in the bank and they're loaning it out. Because essentially, it's like you're giving money away. You're giving it away if you're not getting anything in return. And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are getting the best bang for our buck, as well as while our money is in the bank's hands, that they're utilizing it and paying us for it, because they're getting paid for it. Without us, the bank may not function properly. They'll have less interest. Yeah, the CEOs and the CFOs and everyone at the top of the chain, the silent investors and everything, can put their money in, but they won't get as much interest if it wasn't for us putting our money into the bank. So we want to make sure you get a percentage of the interest that they're getting back, okay? So again, at the end of this video, I will have some screenshots so that you can see certain banks with their interest rates. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. I will be more than willing and to help you. And I hope this video was of some help. I know that but this is what we're doing. This, I have to break it down and I have to make sure that you all know this, because a lot of people don't know, and they don't know that interest affects them in multiple ways. So this is interest earned that we talked about, and then this is interest paid. This can be you as well. If you have a loan, this is you paying interest. So this is both of us. This is us. We're all in this. This is us and this is us. So it works both ways. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that it helps. I really hope that it helps. This is my first time doing this type of video, but I think that I got my point across, hopefully. Bye, guys.
So this particular bank, a friend of mine recently sent this to me for me to do my research on, to see if it was something that I was interested in due to the high interest rate that it has on its savings account. So I just went onto the site and I started to do my research, and this is how my research goes. I am looking at the savings account and its primary savings for 6.17% APY. So I clicked on this particular account because I have to see what are the stipulations. And it says that there's no catch, no monthly fee, and nothing else to open, just deposit and earn. And you can get as high as 6.17% APY, and that's on balances up to $1,000, and it's a minimum of $5 to open up the account. Now, if you just keep watching, you'll see the dividend rate and the APY rate. Now, dividend, if you read the fine print at the bottom, it will tell you that you must maintain a certain daily balance in order to get the dividend. So that is additional income that you can receive on that particular account. Now, if we keep watching, you'll see that the money market account is 0.20 APY. Minimum to earn money is certain percent is 1,000 for LTD savings. I'm not sure what LTD is, but it's 0.40, and the minimum to earn is $25,000 that you can get that interest on. The 0.25% APY, and then Holiday Club savings is 0.25 as well. And the minimum to open is nothing, and the minimum to earn is nothing. So you don't have to put a whole lot in to start getting that particular interest. Now, this next site is Blue Federal, which is another one that I was sent by my friend to go and check out. So I'm just checking out this account as well, and I go to the savings account, and I see that the the website seems very user friendly, but there is only about 3 or 4 different accounts. The first one is Sky High Savings Rate, which has a dividend of 0.80 and an APY of 0.80. Accelerated savings. In blue, you will notice is the amount that you can have in that account to get those particular interest rates. Again, you have to do your own research, but you'll learn more and you'll know what to look for as you keep looking at different accounts. And pay attention to the fine print. It gives you that the dates that these rates are effective as, and if you have to have a certain minimum balance. This next screenshot just basically gives you the interest rates on accounts over $100,000. Now, this next screenshot video is of the account which you see on your screen, and I'm not even going to go into my disappointment in this particular interest rate, but you'll see it in just a second. It says all balances are 0.01%, and if you remember what I showed you all earlier, 0.01% is pennies. But this particular account has 1.0% on all balances, so I would definitely be interested in looking deeper into this account. And this is the screenshot of what I showed you earlier, what the interest is on 0.01% versus 1.00%. Keep in mind, you guys. So now I'm just going to go into their Premier Savings interest rates, and I guess this is the way they reward their Premier customers, but I need you to look at these numbers. On a balance 0 to $10,000, 0.02%. I'm going to speed it up a tad bit in just a second, but even if you get to a customer that has $500,000, even $1 million in their account, they're only getting 0.02, 0.03% interest on their money. $1 million and all you're getting is 0.04%. I'm just not understanding the logic. I need someone who is knowledgeable in this area to please let me know what's going on. Now we have Capital One, and this is their 360 performance savings account, and the interest is 1.00%. This next screenshot is from a personal savings account of mine, and over the last 2 years, I've only earned $5.82 in interest, and the interest is paid out quarterly. So every 3 months, I get interest on this particular savings account. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that I was able to help you.